actually discuss quickly about like Jay-Z and the Blueprint since we didn't talk about it like a few weeks back, and
Oh,
just wanted to reminisce about the album because I believe it's anniversary of the Blueprint, right? And it was actually released the same day as 9/11, so it's been since then that that album's been released, and so
it's a lot of
and
jewels in
yeah,
that
and
album,
since
man.
that's one of those albums that we actually grew up with, and it was
Yeah,
like possibly the first Jay Z album of our era, like
yeah,
right in the right, like that was a
yeah.
what we our
I went
introduction to
back.
Jay Z, and it's crazy.
Yes,
Think about this,
yes.
as the same way as the Blueprint was the introduction, Stillmatic was the introduction, and to me, those
Right.
two albums are like what kind of starts Jay's career or not how it restarts it. It goes from the classic of Reasonable Doubt to his albums in between, and then it's like here comes the Blueprint to restart it for the next generation. And I feel like
That
that was
era.
our Reasonable Doubt. Whereas the same thing with us, Stillmatic was to Illmatic. Like Illmatic opened Nas's career, brought him to his peak. All these other albums were cool, but they were getting as a great recognition as Illmatic. And then here comes
Right,
Stillmatic
right,
and restarts it. And it's crazy
right.
that both of these guys are beefing during that time, or that's when their beef starts. It was an amazing
Legendary.
time, yeah,
It
for sure.
was. It was. That was,
Yeah?
man.
What did you think about, or what does the Blueprint bring to you?
Blueprint.
Yeah,
Actually, you had the blueprint.
yeah,
In eighth grade, bro. You had the blueprint.
I
I
still
went to
do.
your crib.
I am the
You were
Blueprint now. I'm
you
messing
was
with you.
listening to it. You was listening to it, and I'm like, what is this? Like Jay-Z. I always heard of Jay-Z, but what is this? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I
yeah.
remember you burnt the CD for me and brought it to
Hey, come
school
on! Why you
and
saying
gave me
my
this.
business? Now I'm gonna get. Oh man.
Oh,
Anyhow,
it's over 7 years. That was over 7 years
okay,
ago.
cool, cool.
Statute of limitation.
The
But
past.
yeah,
All right.
man, that album molded me. I can say like that's one of the
Nice.
hip hop albums that stuck with me. You know what I mean? That and Stillmatic, of course.
What
Stillmatic. It
those
was
are
like
two
this.
albums in their peak. Like those two albums, to me, the Stillmatic revived Nas's career, and Blueprint surpassed Jay Z to the pop culture in a
Like
sense,
it
and to like
solidified him. It put
it
him.
solidified him and gave him the throne. That was like
Yeah,
the
bro.
crowning and him. That's him after he's like crowned and he's just gonna sit on his throne. That was the Blueprint.
I got the
H
track
to the
list.
Izzo. He's like just
Look,
bragging
wait, wait.
about
I
who
got the
he
track
is.
listing. I got the track listing right here.
Yes.
All right. Number one is The Ruler's Back. That
Okay,
beat.
there you go. That's him.
That beat. H to the
The
Izzo.
Congos.
Izzo,
Dun.
jigga that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Izzo's just like him just being cocky and saying, this is my name. Let me introduce you to myself again. My
I'm
name
doing
is
it for
H.
the culture.
Anyhow, next song, Jigga Jigga, yeah.
Jigga. I love that
Oh
song.
oh oh see
Yeah.
yeah.
Hola Jovito.
Come
That's
on,
what I'm
man.
saying when I roll out with my
With my
people.
the
Never.
production, the beats.
Yeah. Who
It
did
sounded
that?
like a live
Who?
album. I think it was Kanye, Just Blaze, maybe
That
Guru.
particular song though. That was
Hola,
hard.
Jovito. Yeah.
Yeah. Never Change. To this day, bro. To this
Never
day.
changes. That's a great song. Yeah. I never changes. Yeah.
Jay every day. Same clothes for week. What do you say?
I am the king of the something. Off
No,
the
no,
top,
no.
I can't.
Okay, All I Need. I mean, there's so
Check.
many tracks. There's so many songs. Like every song.
But
Every song.
don't you haven't even got to like one of the illest and most memorable song. I like that's such a great song. Girls,
especially
I
growing up
do adore.
come on, man. When this came out, that
and
song
it's
was
fly.
popping.
It's fly.
Yeah.
It's not corny.
Put your number on this paper. Who does that
that
anymore?
Holla at you when I come off tour. And how he has like all the old school rappers on the chorus, Biz Markie, rest in peace. He has
Yes.
Dougie Fresh. Yeah, it's such a great song. And like I said, Jay doesn't have to rely on an R&B artist to do his chorus to make it like poppy and cool for the girls. He did it himself. I did it my
Yeah.
way. Anyhow,
I'm just
go ahead.
looking at this track list and like,
Carry on.
man, you don't know.
Ah, you don't know what
Yeah,
shit. That's
that was
one
a
of the
banger.
beats you
Obviously.
play and you just want to rap.
Yep. Yep.
Such iconic
Heart of
bars
the
too.
city. I
That's the
know.
one. That's the heart of the city. Like till this day, you see that on commercials. Like it's such a classic song.
Da,
That's the
da, da,
classic
da.
song off
That's
there.
Kanye. That's classic Kanye, man.
Yeah, great track.
Song Cry, Renegade, Breathe Easy. Come on. Renegade.
Song cry. The story that he's telling,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
admitting like
man.
he's being a vulnerable man in a
I,
sense because he's admitting to his faults and this is Jay. Like at the time, we're saying that he's like the guy on the throne to be like vulnerable in a sense of telling you his mistakes. Like, yes, I'm on the throne. I'm this dude that um, influences the culture. What I say moves. Yet I'm still over here vulnerable with this person that I have lost. So
right.
that sheds a whole nother story to his side, or yeah, that gives
He's
you
he's
a
he
peek at
lost
the other side.
through his own faults. He lost her. You know.
Just a reminder, man.
But
But
man,
such a great song Cry.
yeah.
I can't see him coming down my eyes. That's pride. So I have to make the song cry.
Right, and he did. That
That's
song
a
cried.
that was the beginning of 444, right? Because it's 444 is basically
An
him in
entire
that
album of
position
song cry.
being like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
him being vulnerable. 444.
Well, how did you feel about 444?
I thought it was like a mature album, like a more
It was
mature
dope.
album in the sense that he's like, look, man, I've already seen behind the veil and I understand commercialism and all that. And so he's basically trying to tell you, don't don't worry about those stuffs. Worry about the more important things in life, which is relationships,
Family.
family feud. Come on, no one wins when the family feuds. It's like
Fire.
that's just something that you don't learn unless you just have time, in life and wisdom.
You say
So I
a
think
man who doesn't take
444 would,
care of his a man who
yeah,
doesn't take care of his family can't be rich. I watched The
exactly,
Godfather. I missed that whole shit.
man.
Yeah, man.
All that, and then the way he's giving you game as far as like save your funds and just invest and don't
Invest.
worry
Yeah.
about spending your money or showing off that you have some sort of status of funds based on what you wear. It's like, don't worry about those stuff, worry about making the money, and then everything else will come with it. And
Guns
not
and
in
butter.
a yeah not in a back to it, not in like a trendy way, but more in a investing way. And look, this is bigger than just flossing. This is
Yeah.
a generational wealth. This is that type of freedom. And
Yeah.
that's what I got from
Yeah.
444. And on top, sorry to cut you off, dude, but the most important thing at the end was like relationship wise, him and B and stuff like that. And him being that
Yes.
guy again, vulnerable and saying, look, I cheated or whatever happened. And that's when you start seeing everything like, damn, okay.
I say
Even
it all
though
the
Jay
time.
was, yeah,
Jay-Z is the greatest rapper ever. He surpassed any rapper that I ever felt like was the greatest. Jay-Z
yeah,
surpassed that because of his longevity and how he's still his music. The quality is just as good as when Blueprint came out. We're talking about Blueprint all the way
right,
to 444.
yeah. And it's just
Like that's
maturing.
well, I don't really know any other rapper that's
Yeah.
like
Well, I
that.
mean,
You know?
Nas. That's the beauty of Jay and Nas is that Nas is exactly like that. The
That's
only
true.
difference, in my opinion, is that Nas is just not as commercialized as Jay.
They're on different journeys, but it's
Ye-
pretty much the same. Like they're aging with class. You
They're
know what I
yin
mean?
and yang. The yin and yang.
Yeah.
One of them for some reason is a little bit different than the other, even though to me they're
Well,
like
I
the
can
same.
say one of them makes better music than the other. That's what
Yeah.
it is. That's really what it is. Cause
Yeah,
Jay album 444, I played that just as much as I played any of his older albums. You know,
yeah.
like Nas just I feel like Nas just barely made a comeback with his last two albums.
The King Seasons.
Like
I
Life
mean,
is
King's
Good.
Disease. King
King's Disease,
Seasons.
yeah. Life is
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
was Life is Good was cool, but I feel like these two albums right here kind of this brought Nas back to life. This like put some energy in him. So they
So
both
this,
fire. A song with Lauren
imagine,
Hill.
yeah. Now this is a great album. King's Disease too is actually it's on my top 5 albums so far. I don't know if you want to
Oh
get into
man,
that or did you want to discuss Baby Keem? Because
we can get into the albums. We can get to Baby King later.
okay, so let's do that then. So we'll go from okay, so that's what we'll say about the Blueprint, and we'll carry on to our top 5 albums so far.